American left 10.
Heading 1663 east to west today. Heading 1663 taxi Alpha, hold short 18 right.
Tower American 1681, visual 18 right.
Heading 1681, you could power 18 right, code Atlanta 17010.
Oh, yeah, 18 right, American 1681.
Stay with us all day for your
1110,
favorite
RNAV
songs.
2, Layer running 18 left to 6.
RNAV Layer, South 18 left, American 1110.
Okay, with 4937, you could power 18 left, not a board.
Why left, land the way to 4930.
Heading 2387 east or west.
American 2387.
Heading 2387, Whiskey Lima, hold short 18 left.
Whiskey Lima, short 18 left, American 2387.
American 3309, cutting support, there we go.
Airport, American 3309. Tower Envoy 4009, visual 18 right.
Envoy 4009, you could power 18 right, cut a left.
Right,
Top of the bridge.
Man with a camera.
Heading 1663, crossing 18 right, hold short 18 left.
So I'm hosting this weekend. And so everybody was on our chat was going, Walt's out there right now, Walt's out there right now. And I'm like, oh, really? I just
Heading 2834, Echo Alpha, hold short 18 left.
Yeah, he is a big deal.
Okay, Echo and hold short, Alpha, hold short, 18 left, American 2034.
Well, his brother's not. So I'm going to be playing with him.
The following program comes to you in color.
Envoy 3621.
Across the country and around the world, it's Runway DFW After Dark. And technically it's not after dark yet. Sunset comes at 7:53, so we're about 20 minutes away from when it goes dark, but stick around, it'll get dark soon enough. Thank you for joining us for this Tuesday night edition of Runway DFW After Dark, live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. So I think we got ourselves on the air pretty close to on time today. Thank you for joining us. Channel member Joey Chan says good evening, everyone. I see our moderators Pittsburgh Don, Michael Flannery, Josh Aldrich, Smoke and Slice Barbecue. And if I've missed anybody, I apologize, but thank you all for thank our mods especially for being here. Thank you for being here. Kevin says good evening, Walt, and everyone who watches Runway DFW.
1681 Golf 8 crossing 18 left out for route 0.65.
Warren Rodriguez says, and we are back. Farid Abed says hello, friends. Hello to you, Farid. The Underdog says hello there. And there's Waz Radio checking in from Sydney. Says, good morning, Walt, mods, and friends from Sydney, where, of course, it is already Wednesday morning. And Waz, or Warren, did a nice favor for our... What's happening here? Okay. Did I turn off autofocus? No.
757 taxi Alpha, hold short when he right.
It's a manual focus. Hold on, folks. Let's go back to the shot. Let's see here. I pushed the wrong button on my camera, apparently.
I mean, I was watching it.
Is it autofocus now? No. It's no focus. I'm going to turn the camera off. Turn it back on again. It's hard to do a show like this without autofocus. So many things going on, so many dials to twist. But while that camera's warming up again, I was talking about Warren or Waz Radio. On his Saturday night broadcast on Highland FM in Sydney, he had a shout out to our great mods. And I sent that along to all of our mods. I hope they received the audio file that Warren sent me. Okay, I think we're back to autofocus now. There we go. All right. So anyway, thank you for that, Warren. And check your mail, mods, if you haven't received that dispatch from that Warren sent to me and I forwarded to you. Let's see, what's our first arrival going to be? Is it going to be exciting? Is it going to be big? It's going to be American Eagle Flight 5590 arriving from Wichita, Kansas, a CRJ 900 LR. So our first incoming of the night here on Runway DFW. Bill called him from Arkansas. Is that right? Yes, I think that's right. It says, good evening, Walt. Just before we went on the air today, we had a go-around. It's an American Airlines flight. It looked as though, and I was setting up, I didn't really get to investigate, but it looked as though there had been a regional jet that had just landed, and it wasn't quite clear of the runway, so the tower gave the instructions to go around.
Envoy 4203, Deacon Tower 18 right, Cardaleo, and 16010. 18 right, Cardaleo, 2374, crossing, 1 left, contact ground 185. Left, 185, American 2374. Anchor 757, crossing, 1 left, contact ground 0.65, top of the bridge.
So yeah, since the time change, we get to have a little bit of golden hour here before we head into total nighttime mode here on Runway DFW.
Envoy 3378, correct support, have a good night. Park up. 2457, RNAV, 2 land, and 18 left, shift for pickup. Alright, clear for takeoff, 18 left, RNAV line.
There's the scene over at UPS headquarters. Not as many planes as we normally see. That looks like an A300 there in the foreground. And we have one tri-jet over there tonight, this one, which looks like it's getting loaded up. And so there's a total of 5 aircraft at UPS tonight. We expect to see some coming in. We expect to see some going out. Dale Helton, channel member, says, hello, Walt, and Moderation Federation. Airman 24 says hello. Our good pal Skittles up there in Washington State says, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Seems a little early for you to be in your driveway already, Skittles. Are you okay? I hope you're okay. Victor Mr. Tovar, channel member, says, hi, Walt, from the Tovar family. Austin Kriska says, howdy, Walt, I'm from Chandler, Texas, ready to see some beautiful aircraft. Well, if you like UPS, we've got those on call. If you like American Airlines, we're going to get a lot of those. And we'll sprinkle in some Frontiers and some Spirits and some international flights too. We should see at least one. We should see two Qantas flights going out this evening. I see that Doug Jackson, a channel member, has given us 20, not 5, not 10, but 20 Runway DFW memberships as a gift to our viewers tonight. That is very generous. Doug Jackson, thank you for that. And we welcome Theo Smaglik, Tanman3880, Tomas K, Jana Brenner, Breaker Bird, Matt C, Network, Bill Davis, Andrew Boothman, Tim McCaffrey, Molly, Paul Brownlow, David Sheffield, Lady Cat, Pat, Amanda Mormon, Rolf E, Chris M, Giovanni, and Jonas Anderson. I think I got all of those. And thank you again so much for that really generous donation of memberships by Doug Jackson. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Brave Kumquat is checking in. Brave Kumquat is already a member. Says, hey, Walt, great to see you. Thanks for this tonight. Happy to see all of you there. American Flight 81 is coming in from London over on the other side. It's a 777-200, I believe. And let's get over here to see it. It's coming in on the east side of the airport. We're on the west side. So we don't get to see it actually touching down. But that's about as much as we can show you. We may get to see it when it gets over to Terminal D for deplaning. Henry Moore. One of our mods says, Qantas, the spirit of Australia, where I am from, 10:41 a.m. right now, watching from Brisbane. If we stick around long enough, we may see the American Airlines flight to Brisbane go out. I can't remember. I think that goes out pretty late. We may not be here for that. But we'll do our best to bring it to you. Just readjusting our camera 2 there. American Flight 2465 from Santa Ana, California is a MAX 8. And that is coming into our view. There you see American Flight 80. That is a 777 going out to London. Now you may ask, what's with all these American Airlines flights to London? Well, American Airlines now is the sole purveyor of non-stop seats betwixt DFW and London. As many of you know, it's been about, I guess, a week and a half now since British Airways suspended its daily A380 flight to Dallas-Fort Worth. And British Airways also suspended its daily service to Dallas-Fort Worth. It's planning to resume that service in the fall with, I believe, a 777 instead of the A380. And so taking up the slack, American Airlines has added an extra daily flight between here and London. So American has 5 daily flights from here to London and back, and this is one of them, Flight 80. And of course we just saw another one coming in. Right there, at the bottom left of your screen is American Flight 2298 to Portland, Oregon. It's an Airbus A321 Neo, and it's about to begin its journey to Portland here on Runway DFW. Dave NLR says, thanks for catching American Flight 81. Friends from Madeira were on that flight. I'm glad we could do that. People are always disappointed when we're not here 24/7. We'd like to be. Well, I don't know if I could be here 24/7, but
3573 over 90.
2598, compare when you're ready for the layout.
we'll go over to camera 1. You can see one of the Qantas flights there. It's a Dreamliner. It's pulled into Terminal D. And we'll see that. We should see both the Qantas flights go out tonight to Sydney and to Melbourne if they're running on time. Doug Jackson, after giving us 20 gifted memberships, Doug has chimed in with $200 for a super chat. And he says, deepest sympathy for your loss of nieces. God bless you and your family. Now he's referring to our cat who died on Saturday, which is why we didn't have a show on Saturday. Our cat of 17 and a half years. And thank you so much, Doug. I had alerted our channel members to that in a post here on the channel. And so in case you were wondering, that's why we weren't here on Saturday with you. So I know for anyone out there who's lost a pet, and I imagine most people have over the course of their lives, it's always a heart-wrenching time. There is the British-bound aircraft. Airman 24 says the Brisbane and Auckland flights have ended until the winter of 2025. Oh, okay. Yeah, I seem to recall that those were seasonal offerings, so I guess all we get to see tonight will be the Sydney plane going back. As far as Qantas goes, and American.
Turn left, Whiskey Kilo, short 1 left on Boeing 3573.
Turn local 009, DFW tower traffic 2 mile final, Whiskey Kilo cross runway 18 right, hold short runway 18 left.
Whiskey Kilo, cross 18 right, hold short 18 left, local 009.
American 2598 at Golf 8, cross runway 18 left, contact ground 25.
Cross 18 left, Golf 8, ground 25, American 2598.
Boy 3845, DFW tower runway 18 right to the left. American 2465, cross runway 18 left, traffic hold position ground point.
And with a mighty roar, we say cheerio to American Flight 80 going to London town. Austin Kurska says, so sorry for your loss, Walt. I lost one of my fur babies last year, so I know your pain. Yeah, it's kind of a universal thing. It's hard to imagine anybody who at some point in their life hasn't lost a pet. But we were very lucky to have had Mises by our side for 17 and a half years. So my understanding is that's a pretty good long life for a pet, for a cat. That was Frontier, flight numero 3978 from Las Vegas, an Airbus A321neo with Sombra the Jaguar upon its tail. J59 channel member says, sorry for your loss, Walt. It's heartbreaking. They are family. My profile is our Chihuahua Bella we lost a month ago. Godspeed. Aww. What a cute little girl. Thank you for sharing that. Aaron B says, my 18-year-old cat died in my arms at the end of 2020. 18, that's, well, you can cherish all those years that you got to spend. Pets are pretty special, that's for sure. It's American Eagle E-Jet, number 175, arriving from San Antonio, Texas. Our next arrival is going to be Volaris. This will be coming in from Guadalajara after a 2-hour journey, an Airbus A320. So we'll get ready to bring you that here on Runway DFW After Dark, or I guess now officially it is After Dark. We've had sunset. Sour Grape says, Walt, what is your opinion on the 737 MAX? I've never been on one, so I can't offer any personal experience on it. I hear good things. Stallion with a bunch of Roman numerals says, hello, Walt, hope you're doing well. Sorry for your loss. Always hard when our pets are gone. Yeah, it does. The house is just emptier. It's just me and Mrs. Runway DFW, and that little guy padding around made it very special. And you kind of don't realize how much of your life they are a part of until they're not there anymore. So if you've got a pet, or 2 or 3, give them an extra hug. Let them know you love them.
When he left, it was Mike Fox Alpha and Dutch for ground. 009 at Alpha Cross, we only left ground point 6
So darkness falls here on Runway DFW, and the dispatcher says, I've lost 2 dogs, a cat, and a horse. It sucks. It does. It truly does. There you see the UPS MD-11 cargo door I don't see any activity there right now. We'll keep an eye on that. Warren Lynn, channel member, says fur babies are family members and their loss always hurts. MPG64 says hello, checking in from Southern Illinois. Welcome. Glad to see you. Rachel Daly Hug, channel member, says it's wild how pets are with us only a short time, but for them we are their whole lives. I miss everyone that I've lost. And she adds, it's a beautiful night for plane spotting. Yeah, I don't mean to be, I mean to make this a downer kind of show. I'm glad that to give our Runway DFW family a chance to kind of reflect on their own pets. This is American Flight 1243. It's an Airbus A321. It is going to San Diego, California. I've got a United plane back there. That's a MAX 9. The rarely seen MAX 9 here at DFW Airport. We were last with you, it's been since last Thursday, because we missed our normal weekend get-together. We were at Love Field last Thursday. We stayed late to see a Delta 757 passenger plane take off from Love Field, carrying the Nashville Predators hockey team after they lost a contest to the Dallas Stars here in Dallas. Let's see where that MAX 9 is. That's United Flight 1113. It's going to San Francisco. It's a 7-year-old MAX 9.
1243, contact departure, good night.
1243, good night.
They haven't updated its livery, have they?
Polaris 1802, traffic holds in position at taxiway.
Thank you to Rachel Daly Hug for gifting 5 Runway DFW memberships. Thanks so much, Rachel. New members include Mike Bell 657, Carolyn Crowder, John Kidd, Solaris, Waxa Sizek, and thanks again, Rachel, for your very kind contribution. And we welcome all our new members. Anna, the dispatcher, says it's a special gold livery for Dreamliners and MAX 9s. Oh, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. There in the background, you may have seen a special livery, the Reno Air special livery of American Airlines. Not too many airlines feature green color. We've talked about this before. Of course, we got Eva Air out of Taiwan, and the Irish airline, which why am I not thinking of the Irish airline's name right now? But yeah, green is not a very common color. Usually blues and whites. Yeah, there was an article in, I think it was Simple Flying, the online blog, which talked about how American Airlines has changed its livery in recent years, although it hasn't been very well noticed. When they've been repainting their planes, instead of the original metallic paint that they'd been using, they're now using just a gray paint. And it's pretty subtle, but I guess if you had two side by side, you could kind of tell the difference depending on the lighting. This is American Flight 499 to San Antonio, Texas. It's an Airbus A319. But I thought that was fascinating, and you know, it did kind of strike me that some American planes look a little different than others, but I would never be able to put my finger on it. But apparently the non-metallic paint shaves off a few pounds from the from a new paint job, which in turn saves money on fuel. There was another story this past week that American Airlines was now not printing out automatically receipts or boarding passes when you check in at one of those kiosks. It's counting on you having the boarding pass on your smartphone. And apparently that will save them hundreds of thousands of dollars every year by not automatically printing out boarding passes for people who have them on their phones electronically. So there goes the MAX 9 off to the city adjacent to the bay. Here on Runway DFW, you are watching Runway DFW After Dark. We come to you live and in color from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. My name is Walt, and we'll be with you for the next couple hours or so with all the comings and goings. Well, not all of them, but many of them from here at one of the world's busiest airports. Here is a better look at that Reno Air special livery, which American Airlines paints their planes in to salute airlines of the past that are a part of the current airline's heritage. In fact, we have one of those on our thumbnail today. We had another one of the American Airlines heritage liveries, Reno Air. No, this is Reno Air. Air Cal, that's what I'm thinking of. Air Cal is on our thumbnail for the thumbnail du jour. Let's go over here. Did I tell you where that Reno Air was going? Going to San Jose. This was flight 1617 coming in there from San Diego, California, in Airbus A321. Channel member Simon 007 says, I remember Reno Air. And James Moy, yes, Aer Lingus is the Irish airline I was trying to think of. Thank you for that. Simon 0007 has upgraded their membership here on Runway DFW to Trijet from Twinjet, so thank you very much. Simon, we'll be later in the broadcast, we'll be scrolling across the screen all of our members, and you'll be on the list. Although we have so many new members tonight, I just want to put out the alert that you will not be on our list today because it's prepared in advance. So, but I hope you will watch our future broadcasts to see your name on the bottom of the screen. It's an Airbus A319, American Airlines Flight 1803.
13723, DFW Tower, RNAV to Lair, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, RNAV, Lair, 18 left, runway 3723.
And that was coming to us from McAllen, Texas. J.L. Acorta, greeting us from Anna, Texas, here in North Texas, in Collin County. Jim Werlein says, good evening all from Georgia, the Peach State. Hello, Jim. Adam Drawbaugh says, I'm wondering what they, American Airlines, do for seniors that don't have smartphones, and how would they get a boarding pass? Well, you can still print out the boarding pass at the checkout line, but it doesn't happen automatically. I guess that's the change. It used to just spit out automatically for every traveler, and now that is no longer the case. So you can still get a boarding pass, and of course you can go up to the counter and get one as well. Heidi A651 says, oh good, I thought I was late. You are not late. And you're looking there at Airbus A300 getting loaded up over at the UPS facility. Simon 007 says, see any CRJs tonight? Yeah, we've already had one or two. We had a CRJ 900. We don't see too many of those. Yeah, we'll catch some of those coming and going. Theo Smaglick, a new channel member, courtesy of a gift, says, good evening, Walt and everyone. Hello, Theo. Airman 24 says, good news. Both Qantas Flight 22 to Melbourne at 8:25 and Qantas Flight 8 to Sydney at 10:40 will be on time as of this time. So we will hopefully, maybe the flight to Sydney might be our last of the evening. Frankly Flying says, would you rather fly in a 737 or an Airbus A319? Never been on an Airbus A319, so I don't have, even though I do this channel, people may assume that I fly, my flight schedule is like a travel blogger. I don't travel that often. Last year I went to 4 different places. That was kind of unusual for me to go to 4 different spots. So we did shows last year from, hang on, I'm trying to get,
4188, DFW Tower, and the B Park, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
B Park, 18 left, clear for takeoff, onboard 4188.
we did shows last year from here, Dallas Love Field, from Los Angeles International Airport, from Seoul, from 2 different airports in Seoul, from Indianapolis, and from the Cayman Islands. So there's our moon for you this evening. Not quite full. It's on its way, though. And it's in a position where we're not going to be able to see any planes flying in front of it, so we won't get a moon plane shot for you this evening, unfortunately. Alana Dorsey says, "We are here. Can we get a picture with you? We know a big fan named Jackson." Well, sure. Just pop on by. Try not to... oh, there you are? Okay. Well, come over. They've got a dog. Okay, here they come. So, hello. I'm Walt. Michael, pleasure to see you. Let's see, are you in the picture? Come over, like over there, if you want to be in the picture. Hello. Jackson and Melise.
They're big fans.
Oh, okay. Well, hello. Are you all in there? Yeah, you're all in there. Okay, so you're internationally famous now.
Yes. Hooray! That's so exciting.
Thank you.
It's so nice. Oh no, well, so nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, look at that. Let's get our primary camera back in business here. Well, tonight we get a pretty good view of downtown Dallas. Not quite as good as we got when we were at Love Field, but there it is there. Hey, we've got a UPS 767 coming in right now from Houston Intercontinental Airport. Flight 5754, this will be. And it's coming from somewhere over in that general vicinity. Ah, there it is.
Tower Runway 3398 with Unity inbound 18 rank.
Runway 3398, get to tower cost, wake turbines, 0 hour, following a heavy Boeing 767, short final, runway 18 rank, third lane.
Clear land 18 right on way 3398.
Yeah, so great to meet all sorts of people doing this. I met a very nice British couple. We talked for a short period of time while I was setting up. They asked me a few questions. They said they'd sign on, so I hope to see them here. Josh Aldrich says, Walt, 1 year ago you were atop Planet Lincoln for Runway DFW After Dark Midday Edition. Well, more specifically, our Eclipse Edition, yes. Thank you for reminding me of that. It seems like only yesterday. And that was our, you know, as it turns out, that's our most watched broadcast here on Runway DFW ever, which I'm not terribly surprised at, since it was, it had more general interest than just watching planes come and go. But that was a fun show. And it's still here on YouTube. It lives on YouTube if you ever get bored and you want to relive the total solar eclipse. Pittsburgh Dawn says that that UPS plane was a diversion which was supposed to go to Houston. So I read that wrong. Well, let's see if we can find that in our viewfinder here. It's going to kind of, I think, go out of our view for a few seconds. Oh, okay, that was diverted to Dallas. It was coming from Louisville, so I misread my flight radar. It was coming from Louisville, diverting to Dallas on its way to Houston. It's a 13-year-old 767-300 ER wide-bodied freighter. And so it'll come close to us. We'll see if there's anything amiss, or if they take a, they do some inspections there. Don says the Eclipse Edition was the best runway DFW I've ever seen. Oh, thank you. Tom Culver, we have a new member coming in as a Tri-Jet member. Thank you, Tom. Bry Guy, channel member, says I was in the DFW area just last year on this day seeing that eclipse. And Steve Lundaby says I was at DFW for the eclipse.
On the visual 18 right.
1565, DFW Tower, runway 18 right, clear to land.
I was at Love Field. The reason I went to Love Field was because I was afraid of the parking situation here at Founders Plaza.
We'll cross runway 18 left, we'll contact ground 25.
And where I wound up on the top floor of what had been at one time the Braniff parking garage at Love Field, that was a more controlled environment, and they were the folks at Planet, Lincoln, Dallas, Love Field were very kind to have me as a guest on that, and they had a little party up there, a little soiree, so it was all good. So here comes that 767, which was diverted on its way to Houston. Let's see if we see, I guess the first thing I'd look for to see if we see activity from both engines, and it looks as though, definitely engine 1 there on the right is cooking. When it turns, I think we'll be able to see if, did I say engine 2? Engine 1 is active. We'll see if engine 2 on the left is. It seems as though there's something going on there too. So who's to say what the issue might have been? Both engines are pumping out.
Cross 18 left, hold short 18 right, on 655.
So whatever packages were on this aircraft are not going to get to Houston on time tonight. And so it's going right into a regular parking space. It's not being held out on the apron for inspection. And if you're just tuning in, once again, that's a Boeing 767 UPS that was diverted here to DFW on its way from Louisville to its intended destination of Houston Intercontinental Airport.
Mark 6, 666, you can roll
Joelle says happy Tuesday evening to me and to our fans. Thank you, Joelle. And Jay says mechanical? Well, we don't know. We just don't know. And of course, that's parked behind a plane here that's already in place, so we won't be able to see if they are doing any kind of inspections over there. So just the way things are. So a quiet moment here. I do hear a couple of or at least one of these Martinair Cessnas, single engine plane, that one coming in from Tyler, Texas. Supercargo Master, and that was a 32-year-old aircraft. And so it's a little late for me to give it its musical salute, but a 32-year-old plane from 1993. That landed over on the east side. We've got another Martinair coming in from Abilene, Texas. It landed on runway 13 right, which is out of our site here at Founders Plaza. But it'll be coming up to see us. That's another Cessna 208B Supercargo Master. Even older. So we'll get our singers all lined up for that one. Theo Smaglick says, I love the Cessna. Just Plains Crazy says, good evening. Hello, Just Plains Crazy. Good to have you here. Airman 24 with the news that Republic is buying out Mesa Airlines. So, and those two regional airlines provide services for all the big three airlines, for United, Delta, and for United, Delta, and American, I should say. Thank you, Dale Helton, for being a member of Runway DFW now for 23 months, dang close to 2 years, Dale. Time flies when you're watching planes. It sure does. Thank you, Dale. And thank you to Texas Girl, who has gifted us one Runway DFW membership. So thank you. And Mike NZ1 Aviation is the recipient of that. So thank you so much for that, Texas Girl. Perhaps our most frequent visitor here to Runway DFW when we're on the air. The Masked Fucker says, who's been a member for 22 months now, says time flies when you're subbed to countless cams. Well, we're glad that one of those cams you're subbed to is us. Appreciate that. M.R. Rice says, good evening, Walt, all mods and fans on Runway DFW. Hello, M.R. Texas Girl says, Walt, I did 10 earlier. Did I miss that? You know, it didn't show up on my, I'm looking at the, oh, here it is. All right, let's put that up. Texas Girl gifted 10 Runway DFW memberships. So that's 11 then. Thank you, Texas Girl. I'm very sorry I missed that. It didn't, I go back periodically and check my check my backlog here, and for some reason that didn't appear. So much appreciation for that, Texas girl. All right, here comes that. Where is it? There it is.
$19.89.
There you got a 36-year-old airframe continuing to do business as a cargo carrier, a super cargo master.
Spirit 200, DFW Tower, RNAV, 2 Lair, runway 11, clear for takeoff. RNAV, Lair, clear for takeoff, 111, very good.
Omega Sunrise has been a Twin Jet member now for 11 months. Thank you, Omega Sunrise. Almost a year, but about 7 years working at DFW. I bet you got some stories to tell. Thank you, Omega Sunrise. Thanks to Just Plains Crazy, we have another gifted membership. Thank you for that, and the recipient of that generous contribution is Beaver Airsoft 64. Appreciate that. Mr. Phil with some banana. Did I miss a Spirit? I might have missed a Spirit plane. I see our friend Wellington Flights Live here on the channel. And if you said hello, Kevin, I missed it. But I do see you there, and I'm glad you're here with us. Omega Sunrise says, I worked at UPS for 5 years. And Just Plains Crazy with a shout out to Kevin. Yeah, he was over in Auckland watching, getting a look at some larger aircraft than he usually gets at Wellington. What do we got here? We got another American Airlines Heritage livery. This is Allegheny, an airline that I've flown personally in the past. They used to run between Indianapolis and New York City back in the 70s. I'm trying to remember what they were flying back then. It might have been a BAC 111. I could be wrong about that. But this, of course, is American Airlines operating this plane, which is in the colors of Allegheny. That plane was an Airbus A321 going to Las Vegas, flight 1771. And Rachel says the American Airlines retro livery is getting ready to take off. What? Oh, did I miss that? Or maybe she was talking about that as a retro livery. American Flight 1659 from Los Angeles, an Airbus A321, is next to arrive here on Runway DFW. That was American 2597, 737-800 off to Burbank, beautiful downtown Burbank, California, here on Runway DFW. Texas Girl says Aerologic is here in 48 minutes. That's should be a 777 as I recall. Thank you for that heads up. Texas Girl. AA1 says, hey Walt, hello AA1. Oh, Wellington Flights Live. Yes, I did get to see that you got to see, Kevin, an Antonov 124. Is that the first time you've ever seen one? Those are it's a pretty magnificent sight. And as I have recounted on this channel before, first time I saw one of those was a total surprise. I had no idea it was even here. And unfortunately, we missed one a couple of weeks ago. Was it a week ago Saturday? And Antonov came in just before I got here to set up. I was quite disappointed. Let's see, I think. I think this Airbus A300. Oh no, no, it's not that one. It's another one. An Airbus A300 is just backing out of its parking space over at UPS. It's off to Chicago Rockford International Airport, flight 755. So let's see here. It's way back there. So what we kind of see right now is the tail. Wait, that's not even it, is it? I think we need to go a little bit over this away. Yeah, it is way back there. Rachel loving the retro liveries. I really like the retro liveries. If I had an airline, I think it would be all retro all the time. Dale Hilton says, I've flown in that Allegheny plane. Very cool. Simon 007 says, how far away is the Museum of American Airlines? It is just from here. Well, we're on the north side of the airport. It's on the south of the airport at the American Airlines headquarters. But it's probably about maybe a 15 or 20 minute drive from here. And there's a more definitive answer from Anna the dispatcher. It's been so long since I've been there. I really need to go back there. The CR, what is it? It's named after I guess the American Airlines founder. Oh, here's another. Hang on a second. Sorry for that rapid turnabout, but this is the American Eagle retro livery on an Embraer 170 coming in from Oklahoma City. Flight 3811. We see that pop in and out of here quite often. Ascending Dragon 1, our official American Eagle pilot of Runway DFW, says it's definitely worth the time to go see the C.R. Smith Museum. That's what it is.
Left turn, Whiskey Kilo 0.85 the other side. We're clear to cross 1 left on 43 and 11.
Texas Girl alerting us to the fact that Turkish is on the radar. And Paresh coming up with the name C.R. Smith. After I didn't see your note there, but I knew it, buried there in the bowels of my brain. That's not a very good. I don't know. Robert Brun says, Walt, the Antonov 124 is big. The Antonov 225 was huge. Yeah, that got blowed up in the war in Ukraine. BizJet coming in here. That was a NetJets Cessna Citation Longitude arriving from St. Paul, Minnesota. And I think the A300 is now on the move. This again going to Chicago Rockford International Airport. An Airbus A300. This plane checking in at 24 years of age. Gotta make a little jog there. Qantas Flight 22 to Melbourne is lining up for takeoff now. That's a Dreamliner -9. Let's see if we can see that in our shot here. There it is.
American 1510, it's actually with Kilo cross, runway 18 left, I'm sorry, Golf 8, cross 20 left, contact ground 25.
Golf 8, cross 20 left, and 45.
EPS 55, have you guys ready to
So
go?
this should be the first of 2 Qantas planes we see tonight. This one going to Melbourne, Flight 22, a Dreamliner -9, a 7-year-old plane. There is the flying roux on the tail.
Tower American 2270, 10 miles of final visual, 18 right, parking left. American 2270, DFW Tower to wind 15016, caution with turbulence, heavy Boeing 787 will depart the inboard, runway 18 right, clear to land. Clear to land, 18 right, American 2270. Qantas 22 heavy, turn at right, heading 190, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
And right, heading 190, clear to take off, 18 left, Qantas 22 heavy.
Right.
American 2291, taxi via Echo Whiskey Michael, short runway 18 left. Echo Whiskey Michael, short 18 left, American 2291. UPS 755 heavy, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, land point, caution with turbulence, heavy Boeing 787, departure roll.
Lab weight 18 left, UPS 75 heavy. DFW Tower, American 2602 is visual approach to runway 18 right.
American 2602, DFW Tower, wind 15015, caution with turbulence, heavy Airbus to depart the inboard runway 18 right, clear to land.
Clear land, 18 right here, 2602.
Qantas 22 heavy, contact departure.
Qantas 22, good day.
So the UPS Airbus A300 is getting ready to take off now. Texas Girl with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Texas Girl. Sorry, Walt, for your loss. God needed a good cat angel. God bless you and your family. Thank you so much, Texas Girl, for those kind words and for that very generous contribution. In addition to all your gifted memberships tonight. Yeah, if you're just joining us, our little kitty Mises died over the weekend, which is why we didn't have a Saturday broadcast. And but he was 17 and a half years old, so he gave us a lot of good years. Definitely does create an emptiness in the household when something like that happens.
American 2291 at Whiskey Mike, cross runway 18 left. Contact ground point 85. Whiskey Mike, cross 18 left.
So there you go. We've got two wide bodies in a row, one passenger, one freight. Peter E. says we were able to get American Flight 81 from London. I think we caught as I recall, we caught the tail end of that. It landed over on the east side of the airport just before Flight 80 took off to London.
American 2270.
So it's towards the beginning of our broadcast if you're looking for it.
Cross 18 left at Gulf 8.85 American.
Peter E. says sorry about Kitty. Thank you, Peter. And says 17 years, a good age. Yeah, he would have been 18 later this year. So talking about that Qantas flight, Bright Guy says it'll be Thursday by the time it gets there. Yeah, that's a long flight. We'll just reset while we can here. You're watching Runway DFW live and in color. Runway DFW After Dark. And always happy to see you here. We have a UPS MD-11, which is still, looks like it's still getting loaded up. Take a peek. The door is open. I see the cockpit door. There's some activity there. Is that door opening? It had been closed. I mean, it had been open. I guess maybe they closed it and now they're opening it again. Interesting.
American 2602, traffic holding in position at Gulf 8, cross runway 18 left, contact ground point 85.
Cross 18 left, Gulf 8 and 85 on the other side, American 2602. Hey, Chair, good evening, Envoy 3889, whenever.
Envoy 3889.
Paresh says, all good, my friend. Love your stream. Thank you, Paresh.
When you're right, flood line, Envoy 3889.
Texas Girl letting us know that the Aerologic cargo plane will be here in 33 minutos. Looks like American Flight 1809 to Seattle is lining up to take off. It's an Airbus A321. If you are new to our channel and wondering what is the deal with all these American Airlines planes, this is the home of American Airlines here at DFW Airport. So we get to see a lot of them. And last I checked, it's upwards of 80% of the flights here at DFW are operated by American and American Eagle. So yeah, if you like American Airlines, this is the place to watch planes.
DFW Frontier 3832, visual 18 right.
Frontier Flight 3832, DFW Tower, wind 15012, runway 18 right, clear to land.
Clear to land 18 right, Frontier 3832, we are parking on the west side.
Roger.
Got an American Eagle Embraer 175.
American 1809
is gliding in for a landing.
American 1809, switching slow.
Well, I mean, see gliding. I'm sure it has engine power.
648, hold short of runway 18 right at Zulu.
Hold short, 18 right at Zulu, Martech 648.
But this is going to be flight 3889 from Monterrey in Mexico on runway DFW.
Charlie ramp.
Cross 18 right at Zulu, Charlie to the ramp, Martech 648.
How about a Frontier Airbus A320neo? That's what's next. It's got Tex. Oh, it's so appropriate. It's Got Tex the Armadillo on the tail. It left Phoenix an hour and 50 minutes ago, and we're about to see it here on runway DFW. So,
3889, hold short of runway 18 left at Whiskey Kilo.
Stand by for Armadillo.
American 2666, contact departure connect.
Departure, American 2666.
American 1406, RNAV 2 Larry, runway 18 left for takeoff.
RNAV Larry, 1 at left for takeoff, American 1406.
American 3315, DFW Tower, DFW, runway 18 left, line up and wait, traffic will cross.
Line up and wait, runway 18 left, American 3315.
Where's Tex? There he is. A little overexposed because of our nighttime setup here. Emergency vehicles headed out to make a run. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta put away one of our bags that I left askew. So hold on a second. Let me put on some appropriate music, and I'll be right back with you here on runway DFW.
American 1406, contact departure.
Departure, American 1406.
American 3315, RNAV 2 Larry, takeoff.
RNAV to Larry, clear for takeoff, 18 left, American 3315.
American 2567, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, line up and wait.
20 left, line up, wait, American 2567.
American 2567, RNAV 2 V-Park, runway 18 left for takeoff.
RNAV V-Park, 18 left, clear for takeoff, 2567.
American 2190, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, line up and wait.
28 left, line up, wait, 21.
All right, I apologize for that delay, but I had to put something away. Here we got an Embraer 170 coming in from Houston, American Eagle 3470. While I was putting that bag away, I met somebody who'd just come in from Wichita Falls. Well, he's here on for some sort of a meeting, and his name is Christopher, and he said he's been a member. He's been watching a long time, been a member for just a week. So I said hello to him and thanked him. And he said his 5-year-old likes to watch too.
American 2190, RNAV 2 Laren, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
RNAV 2 Laren, 18 left, clear for takeoff for American 2190.
Now the statistics tell me that our audience skews a little older than 5, but
406, runway 13 right, clear to land.
and the plane that just took off was American 2567 to Portland, an Airbus A321.
American 2567, contact departure.
Departure, American 2567.
Envoy 3470, hold short, over my 18 left to Gulf 8.
Hold short, 18 left to Gulf 8, envoy 3470.
And I'll tell you what this is momentarily.
Envoy 3470 at Gulf 8, cross runway 18 left, contact ground point 85.
Gulf 8, cross 18 left, ground point 85, envoy 3470.
Frontier flight 3832 at Whiskey Mike, cross runway 18 left, contact ground point 85.
Yeah, Whiskey Mike, cross 18 left, ground point 85, Frontier flight 3832, good night.
American 2190, contact departure.
2190,
Flight 2190 off to Silao in Mexico, 737-800. All right, I've been away from our messages here for a little bit. So I would like to thank BK for a $5 super chat, who says, thanks for bringing DFW at night, like the Milky Way, a shimmering bed of colored lights, a jet blast of twinkling stars, and a mist of cosmic psychedelia. That's very poetic. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, BK. And Melbourne Flights has been a member now for 21 months in the twin jet category. That means a lot. Thank you, Melbourne Flights. We've got a lot of viewers who are approaching, or members who are approaching 2 years of membership, which seems like I can't even relate to that.
American 577 DFW Tower, runway 18 left, line of flight.
line up away, 18 left, American.
I'm seeing a couple of vehicles, UPS, well, I guess they're UPS vehicles, going. I can't tell if they have anything to do with the plane that we saw come in. We saw 767 come in, which is parked behind this plane. The 767 UPS plane came in. It was on its way to Houston. It got diverted here from its home port in Louisville, and we don't know why. It landed fine. Both engines seemed to be on when it was taxiing. So
American 577 RNAV 2P Park.
we do have another UPS plane, which is now on the move. Flight 751 to Louisville, 767 freighter, 300 freighter.
2430.
And this is interesting. So I'll tell you what's interesting about it here in a moment. But this plane that's backing out is new. It's new as of January. So that is a pretty darn new plane. So that vertical stabilizer has only been in service for 4 months now. Simon 007 with a who's a member says, Walt, did you ever fly American Airlines when the planes were silver and super shiny? Yes, I have. I'm old enough for that. Yes. Yeah, I've flown on American DC-10s and planes of that era. And on an American MD-11, not MD-11, on an American L-1011 tri-jet. So. In fact, the L-1011 was the first wide-body plane I'd ever been on. We thank Storm Chaser Mark for being a Runway DFW member for 3 months now. Thank you, Mark. Martha Purdue says hello from Lenoir, North Carolina.
American 2430.
Or is it Lenore?
Runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
On FB Park, when you left, clear takeoff, 2430.
American 1797, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, on a point.
18 left, line of William, American 1797.
Joseph Clearwater says, I watch all the time and enjoy your show.
4048, visual line right.
Oh, he says Nick Powers is a newly first officer pilot for Republic Airlines. We talked about Republic earlier because of its merger with Mesa. Is that right? Yeah.
American 2104, text via Alpha, hold short, runway 18 right.
So thank you, Joseph, and Nick, if you're watching. He says, my friend is a first officer of Republic Airways, lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and their home base is in Indianapolis. They fly 41,000 feet, go 500 miles an hour, and carry 76 passengers.
American 2430, contact departure.
Contact American 2430.
American
Rachel says, when Walt says this plane is new, the Love Boat theme song where they say shiny and new, come aboard, we're expecting you, played in my head.
Hold short, runway 18 left.
You know, we have a faux Love Boat song. Do we have that here? I thought we did. I know it's on our playlist. Well, while I was doing that, the plane. I want to keep our eye on this one. This is the look of a brand new 767.
American 1552, traffic pulling into position at Gulf 8, cross from the 18 left, contact ground 185.
Gulf 20 left, Gulf 8,
American 2104, landing traffic will hold short of your intersection at Alpha, cross from the 18 right, hold short from runway 18 left.
And that plane appears to be going to the east side for takeoff to Louisville. Is it Louisville? Yes.
We're still waiting for final numbers.
American 22, advise ready.
So regrettably, it doesn't look like we'll get to see that one take off over on this side of the airport.
American 79, I got the same. Verify, hold short of runway 18 left.
We say hello to John,
3359, RNAV to B Park, runway 18 left.
who says good evening. Hope everyone's doing good. It's a very nice evening here at Founders Plaza. 64 degrees Fahrenheit, wind out of the south-southeast at 8 miles an hour. Not bad at all. We've got an American Eagle plane coming in from Gulfport, Mississippi. It's a number 170, I believe.
American 1222, tower.
American 1222.
American 1222, we're going to need to go behind you, so from Whiskey Hotel, speed on to runway 18 left, single right to join Whiskey Golf to exit, and then make a 180. Hold short of runway 18 left on the west side.
Alright, so on Whiskey,
Hotel, continue, and then cross Whiskey Golf 180, hold short, 180 left Whiskey Foxtrot.
A little double play there. Taking off was another American Eagle plane, flight 3359 to Wichita, in number 170.
Just cross the runway at Whiskey Lima, cross from the 18 left, contact ground 185.
Cross 1 left, Whiskey Lima, ground 45, American 17, not connected.
American 2104 at Alpha, cross 18 left, taxi Hotel Alpha, hold short of Bravo. American 2104, just monitor ground point 85, go reach out when you got the bridge back. Alpha 4049 Golf 8, cross
got all sorts of planes
Cross 18 left.
over yonder right now.
Envoy 4048.
They're lining up on
American 1104 DFW Tower.
runway 18 left, the takeoff runway here at Founders Plaza. And they're just doing all sorts of maneuvering.
1931, visual 1 right.
It looks like flight 1222 to Phoenix, Arizona. An Airbus A321 is next out of the chute. To use rodeo terminology, I guess.
American 1104 and has a D park from the 18 left for takeoff.
I'm going to have to D-Park, rolling 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 1104.
American 1538 DFW Tower, the Airbus is underway, runway 18 left on its way.
Like American 1104 to Boise, an Airbus A321 is the next to depart. There it is there.
Guys, 5009 in favor, modulated Echo 3.
Modulated Echo 3, go.
There's Turkish. Turkish flight 192, which is off to Istanbul. Generally, it goes off on the east side, but we'll see.
Arnhem Laren, clear for takeoff, 18 left, American 1538.
American 303 DFW Tower, runway 18 left on its way.
18 left, line of point, American 303.
There's that new
American 1104, contact departure.
Yeah, good night, American 1104.
that new 767 we were talking about. Brave Kumquat says, age check, who flew Braniff or Texas International? I don't think I was ever on Texas International, but I was definitely on Braniff. And I think my experience on Braniff was all on 727s.
American 303, Arnett B Park from my 18 left, clear for takeoff.
Arnett B Park, 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 303.
American 27090.
American Flight 303 is next. It's going to Spokane, Washington, an Airbus A321 Neo. That's not it.
1538, contact departure.
No, an Airbus A320. I misspoke. That's the aircraft that's going to Spokane. And it did look like the Turkish plane is gonna, well, did I see that correctly?
American 2709, Arnett Valerian, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
Okay, way up left, clear for takeoff, Arnett Valerian, American 2709.
Frontier 3999, DFW Tower, Central Cross, 18 left on its way.
Line away, Frontier Flight 3999.
KBS 51 Heavy, DFW Tower, traffic 3 out of Yankee Cross, from the 18
Yeah,
right.
Turkish Flight 192 is going to take off here on the west side as the big new 767 makes its way across runway 18 right. the landing runway.
464 heavy DFW tower, wind 15014, runway 18 right, clear to land. Runway 195, dispatch,
H. Channel member says, hey everyone, just popped by to say hi and like and go back to sleep now, where it's 0309 in her part of the world. Frontier, flight 3999 to San Francisco with Axel the Axolotl. This one's always been confusing to me.
UPS 751 heavy traffic hold, Yankee cross 18 left taxi.
Seems to be some sort of a horned... Oh, what is that? I have no idea.
UPS 752, that is correct. I'm sorry, 751 heavy, that's correct. Monitor ground point 65. Ground point 65.
Yordi says, hey Walt, do you like the current American Airlines logo and livery or the old logo and livery? And I'm quite partial to the previous one. The one that was previous to this one. The one with the AA on the tail. And the red, white, and blue stripe down the side. Texas Girl letting us know that the Aerologic 777's coming in. And that'll be the next arrival, arriving from Toronto. It is a 14-year-old 777 freighter. David Gates with a $10 super chat. Nice night, Walt. Thanks for the show. Thank you so much, David, for your very kind super chat. We can get set up for this Aerologic.
Hold short over my 18 left and call, please.
Echo 3, hold short and 18 left, call, please, on board 3975.
This plane is got a white fuselage with the words Aerologic in large lettering towards the front of the fuselage.
Flight 3999, contact departure.
It'll be here in about 20-30 seconds. So stand by, and thank you for all the alerts, Texas Girl and everybody. Wood Doctor says, why did the Eastern Airlines logo look like a seat belt? I think it was some kind of a stylized aircraft, I think. But yeah, it did kind of look like a 3-point seat belt. Here comes Aerologic on Runway DFW.
American 2267, RNF departs, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
RNF departs, takeoff, 18 left, clear to please.
American 2063, DFW tower, runway 18 left, not deployed.
20 left, not deployed,
American 1223, contact departure.
Depart, American 1223. Tower, runway 4279, visual 1 right.
Runway 4279, DFW tower, runway 15016, caution Victor 170 Boeing 777 rolling out. And a heavy Boeing 787 will depart inboard, runway 18 right, clear to land.
So there it is, coming in from Toronto. And I think we gotta spin around here and get ready for Turkish Flight 192.
American 2063, RNF Valerian, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
Runway 18 left, clear for takeoff. American 2063.
American 2063, verify RNF Valerian.
RNF Valerian, American 2063.
Turkish 5 Romeo Heavy.
Kimberly March Shore with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Kimberly. Howdy, y'all. My husband Matthew and I are watching from Hampton, Virginia. I grew up in Nacogdoches. Nice to see the DFW. And notice how I know how to say Nacogdoches. That's a word that would confound many people who see that for the first time. And thanks again for that very nice super chat. Peter E. looking at his favorite, the 7879 Dreamliner.
UPS 751 Heavy, you still on tower? UPS 751, are you on tower? American 2063, contact departure. Departure, good day, American 20. Envoy 4173, DFW Tower, caution, wake 777, Boeing 787, departure roll, traffic will cross, runway 18 left, on its way. 708, 18 left, Envoy 4173. Envoy 3975, traffic holding in position at Gulf 8, cross runway 18 left, contact ground point 85. Gulf 8, cross 18 left, full, ground 85, Envoy 3975. American 1931 at Whiskey Lima, cross runway 18 left, contact ground point 85. Lima, cross 18 left, 25, American. Turkish 5, Yankee Romeo Heavy, contact departure. Contact departure, Turkish 5, on Romeo. American level 975, 775 mile final, Whiskey Kilo cross runway 18 right, hold short of runway 18 left. Whiskey Kilo cross 18 right, hold short 18 left, local 975.
And Regis, thank you for the $2 super chat. Walt going to be on a Turkish flight out of Houston Intercontinental on Thursday. Well, I hope you have a wonderful flight, Emre.
Local 975, verify, hold short of runway 18 left.
That's a long one. Heidi A651 says Eastern Airlines was the airline I had my first flight on, Seattle to Orlando on a 727. You know, it's interesting. I had my first Eastern flight. It was from, I can't remember if it was from Newark or LaGuardia, one of the New York airports, to Orlando. But that was on a Boeing 720, which was doesn't quite fit into the Boeing numbering scheme, does it? But it was actually a 707, which was a kind of a shortened version of 707. It had 4 engines. So it was like a stubby 707, I guess you could say.
Envoy 3783, RNAV Laren, runway 18 left, clear takeoff. RNAV Laren, 18 left, clear for takeoff, Envoy 3783. Envoy 3357, Eastern Tower, runway 18 left, on its way.
King Mateo says in airline maintenance world they call the 787 Dreamliner the plastic princess. I've heard that said before.
6319, contact departure.
We have a UPS plane getting deparked over there. This is an Airbus A306 going to Ontario, California, flight 761. It's a 22-year-old A300.
Runway 3492, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, on its way.
18 left, left away, runway 3492.
There was a time that American Airlines used to fly A300s,
Departure 4670.
if I remember right. A little flashlight look into engine number 1 there.
American 2659, exit Echo 3, taxi via Echo Whiskey Lima, hold short of runway 18 left.
Echo 3, Echo Whiskey, to short 20 left,
Runway 3492, RNAV to Laren, runway 18 left, for takeoff.
Number here just says, where is the 737 going to? Emre. I must have missed that one. I apologize for that. Thank you for the super chat. The last 737 that took off. I don't even see it. I'm sorry, I must have missed the connection there. So I apologize, Emre, but thank you for that super chat. Heidi A651 says the 727 was loud, especially if you sat in the back. Well, it's kind of the same way with all those planes that had engines in the back. The DC-9, MD-80, 717. I remember that.
Envoy 3492, contact departure.
Roger, with 3492.
Texas Girl says American Airlines going to London is now on radar. Thank you, Texas Girl. And she is speaking of... Where is that?
Envoy 3653, Echo 3.
Flight 154. There'll be a 777-200 off to London Heathrow. As we said before, earlier today, the American now has 5 daily flights to London, adding one to make up for the British Airways flight which has been suspended on that route. Larry Brown says, my first flight was Eastern L1011 from Philadelphia to Syracuse. Not a very long flight. So once again, this Airbus A300 is on its way to Ontario, California.
Got 4917, turn right heading 190, runway 18 left for pickup.
We say so long to MR Rice until next time. Thank you, MR, for being a part of our broadcast this evening.
Delta 5796, taxi via Echo Alpha, hold short of runway 18 left.
Echo Alpha, hold short, 18 left.
Visual 1 left.
DFW Tower, runway 18 right, clear land, wind 15014.
Clear land, right.
Tower, envoy 4026. We're getting close to our mid-takeoff. If you want to cancel, we can go sooner than later.
Envoy 4026, give you up the RJ on the runway. Got 4917, contact departure.
American Airlines A321 got caught in the headlights of the A300 there for a second. It's coming in from Phoenix, Arizona. Flight 3232.
Go with correction envoy 4026, DFW Tower, virtual spacing, runway 18 left, line point, traffic cross.
18 left, line point, envoy 4026.
And just a reminder, you're watching Runway DFW live and in color from Dallas Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. Happy to have you with us. We are here from our mobile control center at Founders Plaza here at Dallas Fort Worth Airport. Omega Sunrise says my first flight, as we're talking about first flights, was an American Airlines DC-10 DFW to Boston. 1985 with an in-flight camera on the pilots and a movie. Really? An in-flight camera? Did they even have? They had TV screens on that era of plane? I am very surprised.
Delta 2796, hold short of Bravo, monitor ground 25.
Let's see, we've got American 2368. Who do we appreciate? An Airbus A320 from San Antonio, Texas. Just about to check in. Turn of the century plane, dating back to the year 2000.
KPS 61 heavy DFW Tower, traffic 3 out of Whiskey Foxtrot, cross runway 18 right, hold short of runway 18 left.
Cross 18 right, Whiskey Foxtrot, hold short 18 left.
Sounds like the A300 has just received permission to cross over.
American 348, DFW Tower, traffic underway, runway 18 left, minus away. American 348, minus away, runway 18 left.
Hey, we've got a FedEx plane coming in. Oh, I love when FedEx planes come in over here. FedEx has an operation here at Dallas Fort Worth Airport, but it's on the other side and we hardly ever get to see them. This one's coming. Oh, this is another. We've had this happen before. This is making like a 10-minute flight from Alliance Airport in Fort Worth. It's, I guess, a repositioning flight? I don't know.
American 348, RNAV Valerian, runway
It's a 757.
348, RNAV Valerian, clear for takeoff, runway 18 left.
Go with 5333, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, on deploy.
18 left, line of voice, still at 5336.
Envoy 4026, contact departure.
Over departure, envoy 4026.
I'll be here in just a second, I think. Did I misread it? No, it's coming in on this side. Stand by for FedEx. I'm going to pre-salute this plane. Oh, there it is.
1989.
DFW Tower, good. Keeping envoy 3733. Visual 18 right.
Envoy 3733, DFW Tower, wind 15013, runway 18 right, clear to land.
18 right, clear to land, envoy 3733.
So this may be a regularly scheduled flight, the shortest 757 flight you'll ever see. Took off about 12 minutes ago from Alliance Airport, where FedEx has a cargo operation. And it's coming over here to DFW Airport, where FedEx also has a cargo operation. So maybe it gets loaded up over at Alliance, then it comes over here, picks up some more stuff, and goes to its next destination. Although you would think it would be more efficient if they just would truck everything over to Alliance. Wouldn't you? I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, Rachel says, wow, FedEx on our side? Crazy. And Paresh says a FedEx 757 with RB211 engines. Nice. Game Boy Lyric with some more praises for the 757 FedEx.
American 1693, visual 18 right, 11 miles.
So we get a little more, another look at it here before it escapes our attention. If only it had the tail lit up.
American 3136, RNAV to Laren, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
RNAV to Laren, 20 left, clear for takeoff, American 3136.
Envoy 3459, Daisy Tower, runway 18 left, on its way.
188, number 1, Envoy 3459.
Well, that's a nice treat. I'm going to kind of be looking forward to that on future Tuesday broadcasts.
Hold short of runway 18 left. Echo Whiskey Lima, hold short of 18 left, 2024.
So FedEx has its facility here on the northeast side of the airport. So it's got a bit of taxiing to do before it gets to its ultimate destination.
Envoy 3459, RNAV to Laren, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
Looks like it's going to taxi on up the west side.
2074, Daisy Tower, runway 18 left, on its way.
On its way, 18 left, American 2074.
So let's take a look at the rival UPS plane.
American 3136, contact departure.
American 3136.
This is the A300 going to Ontario, California. It's waiting its turn. Emery, you're just with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Emery. What plane is this FedEx one? The FedEx is a 757, which came in from Alliance Airport in Fort Worth, which is just to the west of us here. It's only about a 12-minute flight. And since, I thought last time we saw that may have been an anomaly. Maybe they were repositioning it, but this is the second time we've seen that same thing happen here. So maybe it's just part of the FedEx route schedule now. They load up at Alliance, they make the very short hop over here to DFW, and they load up on some more stuff.
Our Delta 2967 is visual 18 right.
Delta 2967, DFW Tower with 15011, runway 18 right, clear to land.
Clear to right, clear to land of 18 right, Delta 2967.
Looking for that FedEx plane now.
UPS 761 heavy, RNAV to Laren, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
We just had a heavy plane take off on the east side.
59 DFW Tower, caution way, turbulence heavy, Airbus departure roll, traffic will cross, runway 18 left, line of way.
18 left, line of way.
We like to catch those when we can.
3733, hold short for runway 18 left, Whiskey Kilo.
Hold short 18 left, Whiskey Kilo, 3733.
American 2074, contact departure.
All right, here goes the UPS A300.
Alpha 3733, traffic hold with Kilo cross, runway 18 left, contact ground point 85.
Clear cross 18 left, open down Alpha 3733, for great rest of your night.
American 2024, Whiskey Lima cross, runway 18 left, contact ground point 85.
20 left, Whiskey Lima, ground 85 on the side, American 20.
So the plane that took off on the east side was American Flight 154 to London Heathrow.
761, heavy.
The FedEx plane that we saw is headed over the bridge, I think. But for some reason, I do not see it. I think it's already gotten over there. Hello.
How's it going?
I'm doing all right.
documentary or something?
No, it's a live YouTube channel.
via Echo Alpha,
Yes.
short of runway 18 left.
It's called Runway DFW.
Echo Alpha, 1 short, 18 left, American 1693. American 1759, RNAV to Laren, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
RNAV to Laren, 18 left, clear takeoff, American 1759.
American 1514, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, undeployed.
Undeployed, 18 left, American 1514.
Air Canada Airbus A220 coming in on the east side, and a Delta Airbus A320 coming in on the west side. Let's see if we can catch both of those somehow.
American 1514, RNAV to V Park, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
Delta.
That's V Park, clear takeoff, 18 left, American 1514.
Envoy 3391, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, undeployed.
18 left, undeployed, Envoy 3391.
We're looking for Air Canada here.
American 727, keep the speed up here off the runway, please. Traffic 10 mile. American 727, join with
There's Air Canada.
West Lima, hold short, 1811.
An A220.
Oh, departure, American 1759. Tower, good afternoon, Runway 3941, visual 18 right.
Runway 3941, DFW Tower, wind 15011, runway 18 right, clear land.
Clear land, 20 right, Runway 3941.
And here comes Delta Flight 2967 from Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Envoy 3391, RNAV to Laren, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
RNAV to Laren, clear for takeoff, 18 left, Envoy 3391.
South 4961, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, undeployed.
18 left, undeployed, South 4961.
American 1514, contact departure. Squad departure 1514, ambulance. From the 2967, roll to Echo 6.
Roll to Echo 6, till 2967.
1993.
32-year-old example of the Airbus A320.
4961, RNAV V Park, runway 18 left, clear takeoff.
RNAV V Park, 18 left, clear for takeoff, South 2961.
What were you doing in 1993?
Unemployed.
Undeployed, 18 left, yes, 497.
Envoy 3391, contact departure.
Departure, Runway 3391, good night.
Delta 2967, hold short of runway 18 left at Whiskey Mike.
Hold short of 18 left at Whiskey Mike, till 2967.
That Texan Collector channel member says, I still remember recently when FedEx had DC-10s still. We got to see, well, it was an MD, was it an MD-10? Wasn't an MD-11. It was an MD-10, I think, that we caught that in Austin during our visit there a couple of years ago. Rachel Daly Hug, channel member, says, I'm heading to Sleepland. Have a great night. Thank you, Rachel. Glad to have you with us tonight. Alex Juar, celebrating that Air Canada plane we saw a couple minutes ago. J.R. Milton, my first flight was on a Convair turboprop from Abilene, Texas to Greater Southwest International Airport here in, which was at that time just south of us. Wow, that's so interesting. I would love to be able to talk to somebody who had actually flown into there. I wonder, do you remember a lot about that airport? I've read all about it. This is a 767
Okay, Whiskey Mike, cross 18 left, ground point 85, over flight 967.
It is flight 773. It is going to Louisville, the world port. And it's a 13-year-old 767. Boat Doctor, I remember flying from Indianapolis to Denver Stapleton in 1993. Stapleton no longer with us, of course. I think it's... Did they plow over that airport, or is it still some kind of an airport for general aviation or business or cargo? I'm not sure. Anna, the dispatcher, says in 1993, I was not alive. Well, good for you. Paresh says FedEx had a handful of MD-10s, glass cockpit, no flight engineer. Jeffrey Boo says, I remember the old Greater Southwest Airport before DFW took over. My dad flew from Jacksonville, Florida to there when he retired from the Navy back in 1969. Scott Randon says, hi Walt, nice evening to Plain Spot. Indeed it is. And there's Runway, there's a S-35 Bonanza pilot. Good evening, Walt, mods, and all fans of this channel. Hope everyone doing all well tonight, just hanging out, watching the best stream on the internet, in his humble opinion. That's so nice of you to say. JT says Stapleton is covered in houses these days. Okay. But the tower is still there with a restaurant. That would be interesting to go to. Adam wants to know, did anybody hear what caused the diversion on the UPS plane? Yeah, just to the right of this, over there, now we get our first look at it. This was the plane that came in from Louisville. It was on its way to Houston, Intercontinental, and it got sidetracked. It got diverted here. We don't know why, but it looks like they are offloading it. So I guess that cargo is going to get a little different. The cargo's on a diversion as well. Hang on for a second. We've got to do a little doodle-doodle-doo. Got Volaris going to Mexico City.
American 2361, hold short, number 18 left, at Whiskey Kilo. American 2361 at Whiskey Kilo, cross runway 18 left, contact ground 25.
They would do these, what they call in the business, swish pan transitions. I think the first time I ever noticed it was on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. They would go like this. Actually, it looked more like this. And they would just splice that in between scenes. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Hey, we've got a yellow bird coming in. Spirit. And I punched the button and it didn't take. Let's see. My finger's too cold or something. An Airbus A321neo arriving from Los Angeles, flight 193. Spirit Airlines. All right. Here's this 767 on its way to Louisville.
short of runway 18 left.
Echo Alpha short of 18 left, 493.
It's amazing how quiet it gets once it makes the turn.
At Whiskey Foxtrot, cross runway 18 right. Hold short of runway 18 left.
Vince Blue Boss says, love this channel. DFW is one of my favorite airports. My buddies from England love it too. Nothing like an airport at night. And it's, you know, before we got our nighttime cameras, and we started this channel with the camcorders, Panasonic camcorders. They're great, but they do not work well at night. Their sensors are not big enough or sensitive enough. So until we got our Sony cameras, which are full frame cameras with very, very sensitive sensors, couldn't really do anything at night. And it's nice to be able to work at night, especially in the summertime here in Texas, when daytime it just one feels very roasted on many days. And it's not particularly cool at night in the summertime here in North Texas, but at least the sun's not beating down on you and the equipment.
Runway 18 left, check emergency, UPS 773 head.
Simon 007 says, did they fix the plane? Did they fix the UPS plane that came in from Louisville? I don't know. It looks like they've just closed the cargo door. We were just looking at it a moment ago.
18 left at Alpha, and Hotel Alpha Bravo, and then
So we'll keep our eye on it.
193.
This plane looks like it'll make the turn and head off to Louisville. S-35 Bonanza pilot says, I was flying, in 1993, I was flying cargo on Falcon 20s for Martin Air at Love Field. They had 12 retired FedEx Falcon 20 cargo planes. It was a blast, even though it was always at night. Always a night owl.
Runway 18 left, clear takeoff. RNAV B Park 20 left, clear for takeoff, UPS 773 heavy. UPS 773 heavy, contact departure. Over departure, UPS 773 heavy.
So here once again is a look at that 767 that came in, that was diverted here. It's not on the radar. Let's say goodnight to Adam Drawbaugh. Says, I'm heading out for the night. Got an early morning chirp appointment. Chirp appointment. Is that, did I read that right? And then work. So, Adam, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. J.R. Melton says, Walt, Greater Southwest Airport, which, as we said, was located just south of here, had a Convair B-36 Peacemaker bomber on display in front of it at one time. I have seen pictures of it. And that Texan collector says that B-36 was one of the last things to be removed from Greater Southwest. It was there almost abandoned for a very long time. It got relocated to Pima, if I remember correctly. And that Texan collector says Kalita Charter still has a handful of old school Falcon 20s. So lots of memories going on here at Runway DFW tonight. Let's see if we can get a little closer look here. This plane. Is the cargo door open again?
Got 4817 RNAV.
Let's see how close we can get in here. So there's some peoples in there. Can't tell what they're doing. It's like they're pulling on something. Mr. Egg, good morning from Thailand. This time last year I was taking off from Bangkok on my way via Seoul to DFW. I spent 10 lovely days in Dallas and Fort Worth. Everyone was so friendly and welcoming. Thank you.
4817, contact departure.
Mr. Egg, we're glad you had a nice visit to Texas. Hope you can visit us again. Maybe someday I'll get to visit Bangkok. I have been to Seoul a couple of times. We did some broadcasting from there last year. From Seoul, Incheon, and from the other airport, which, yeah, 2 airports in Seoul. Gimpo's the other airport. Talking about Greater Southwest Airport again, there's a very small airport, Dale Hilton says, of the taxiway left by Highway 360 where the Amon Carter Boulevard intersects with the highway. I've looked at that on Google Earth, but I've never tried to find it there myself.
Tower, wind 15012, runway 18 right, clear land.
18 right, clear land, we're parking lot.
Want to get up, go ahead, says, in my humble opinion, there are only about 3 situations to make that UPS divert: improper located cargo tub, flight crew illness, or something like a hydraulic issue. We will know on what happens in a few. Well, we can tell you that the plane landed fine, and it appeared that both engines were functioning when it pulled in. And, there were no issues with its landing, it didn't appear. Gimpo, yes, thank you, Jeffrey. I did eventually come up with the right name. That Texan collector says Amon Carter Boulevard next to Highway 183 is the old location of a runway from Greater Southwest. The north end of the tarmac is still surviving past the intersection and is used by DFW for taxiway line painting training. I never thought about training for painting taxiway lines, but that's very interesting. So I don't know if any of you can make out what's going on there. I think this is as far in as we can. Well, I've got one more level of digital zoom, so we'll go in there to see if we can make out what's going on in there. So several UPS personnel. They seem to be kind of pulling something in unison, like a heave-ho kind of thing.
United 1152, taxi Echo and Alpha, hold short, runway 18 left.
Echo Alpha, hold short, 18 left, United.
So maybe they are like repositioning cargo or something. No Need to Know says it looks, I put out that up. Looks like one of those bins may have shifted and got stuck, hence all the tubing on it. Yeah, I guess if you had a load shift while you're in flight, that might be a concern. If you're just tuning in, once again, this is a 767 UPS plane, which landed, I'm going to say about an hour ago. It was on its way from Louisville, the UPS Worldport, to Houston Intercontinental when it got diverted to DFW. It landed safely, no issues that we could see. There were no emergency vehicles waiting for it. It just kind of landed and taxied on up here and pulled in. But when it pulled in, it came in behind another plane, so we couldn't see what was going on. So now we're looking into the cargo hold here on this side of the plane, and workers seem to be doing something other than unloading cargo. They seem to be trying to do some manipulation of some sort.
United 1152 at Alpha, cross runway 18 left, then turn left at Hotel Alpha, join Bravo. Out of ground 121.85 on the Bravo Bridge, or 121.65 on the Bravo Bridge.
Clear to cross 18 left via Alpha, then Hotel Alpha, Bravo, and ground United 1152.
Runway 3511, contact support. Have a good night.
Right, runway 35.
That Texan collector says, for a long time, Eamon Carter, which is a street, by the way. Well, it's also a person, but it was a street, or it is a street, was just made on the same old runway pavement as Greater Southwest Airport until about 2009 when they redid the road. Super cool. So we're keeping our eye on this. There's not a lot else going on right at the moment. In the next half hour or so, we should be seeing the Qantas flight to Sydney going out. That'll be a Dreamliner, and that'll probably be our last plane of the evening. Until, well, for now, let's alert the affiliates that we're about to do station identification here on the Runway DFW YouTube network. You're watching Runway DFW After Dark here on YouTube. It's Walt with you for about another half hour, 45 minutes of aviation broadcasting. from here at DFW Airport, one of the world's busiest. Not quite so busy right now, but we're keeping our eye on this Boeing 767, which was diverted here about an hour ago. And can't really tell what they're doing in there, the UPS workers, but something appears to be amiss in the cargo hold of that plane. And I don't know if they're trying to dislodge something or reposition something that's in there. That's what it appears is happening. Somebody got like a crowbar, or who knows what that is. Root Doctor says the door may be plugged, but not by a door plug. We say hello to channel member Beach Life 828. That reminds me, speaking of channel members, we need to salute our channel members, which we like to do every time we're on the air.
Hello, American 3286.
So what we're going to do now,
American 3286.
take out that clock
in runway 18 right, clear to land. 20 right, clear to land, American 3286.
and put in our thank yous. First on our list, as always, is our official channel sponsor, James Webb. Thank you so much, James. I think he's going to, if I remember correctly, he'll be here in a couple of days. Look forward to seeing him if he's still going to be checking in here with us. Thank you again, James Webb. Now let's say thank you to our Runway DFW Quad Jet members, the highest ranking membership levels here at Runway DFW. This list was compiled at 10 a.m. today, so if you're one of the many new members, watch for your name on an upcoming broadcast. Okay, here we go. 757 Chip, Quad Jet channel member. Airplanes FRA, Alan J, Angela Smith, Anna the Dispatcher, Beaker and Honeydew, Bev A, Bill Platt, Cubs Win, Deborah Klein, Dwayne C, SO Rents, that's a new member. Thank you, SO Rents. James Webb, John Lipman, Josh Aldrich, Kevin D, Kirby Brooks Sr., KS Avgeek, Lori M, Michael Flannery, Michael Schwarzkopf, Michelle R.S., Mike G, Netgear, Only Planes Network, check out their channel from down there in Australia, Patrick Booters, Pete Nordine, Payathon, S35 Bonanza Pilot, Sarah Deal, Skittles, Steve Lundaby, Stuart Kircher, Texas Girl, The Grinch, TNT Oh My, and Will Hutchison. Those are our Quad Jet channel members. Thanks to each of you. And now for the next few minutes, scrolling on the bottom of your screen will be the names of our Tri-Jet and Twin Jet members. Appreciate your support of Runway DFW. Well, they got a lot of people working on this, don't they? Just don't know what it is. I'm seeing a Volaris Airbus A320 on the radar. It'll be going to Guadalajara, and we'll be seeing that take off shortly. Just letting you know that I'm keeping an eye on all the other things that are going on here. And again, this is probably going to be our final half hour, 45 minutes or so of broadcasting tonight. Like many of you, I have to get up early tomorrow too. Heave ho!
American 1711, DFW Tower, good evening, runway 18 right, clear to land.
This is so interesting.
American 3280.
There's definitely something that's stuck, apparently.
121.85, have a good night.
Whiskey Mike, clear to cross 18 left, ground 25 on this side, American 3269.
Jeffy DH says, hi Walt, my adult children get so angry when they come over. Instead of watching hockey, I make them watch Runway DFW. Well, come on, if they want to watch hockey, you can watch on your phone or tablet or computer. There's lots of ways to watch. I don't want to deprive children of hockey. I like hockey. Nikki and Gary say good evening. Channel members. Larry Brown says, looks like they need a doohickey and a thingamabob with a what's-it. Apparently, that is the case. Want to get up, go ahead, says oddly it wouldn't have been not much longer to Houston, maybe 30 minutes from Louisville. Well, maybe they have more resources. I don't know what the UPS setup is at Houston. I don't know if they have as large an operation there. Maybe they just needed more manpower. Looks like they do need a lot of manpower for whatever they're doing. Or I guess I should say person power. Luke, the random spotter, is with us. Hello, Luke. Hey, y'all. Apologies for my tardiness. Had to teach at the college tonight. Well, there's nothing to be sorry about imparting education. So we salute you for doing that, Luke. We're just happy you could pop in and say hello to us as well. Root Doctor says they're breaking out the heavy tools. This would probably be a lot. If you're watching on a phone now, it's probably not that interesting. If you're watching on a big screen TV, it might be a little more interesting to see what all is happening there. But there is something that is interesting. Well, a couple of things that are interesting that are happening now. One of them is the fact that this MD-11 has its marker lights on. This will be going to Chicago Rockford International Airport shortly, flight 753. And if we look over here at runway 18 left, we can see a Volaris A320neo rolling into place to go to Guadalajara, Mexico, and right behind it, Frontier Flight 1769 to San Diego, California. And the Frontier flight features Finn, the oceanic white-tip shark. So we'll get a look at Finn, perhaps. Buenas noches.
American 1711 at Golf 8, cross 18 left, telegraph 25.
Golf 8, Jersey cross, 18.
And the tri-jet gets pushed back.
Frontier Flight 1769, DFW Tower, 18 left, minus point.
18 left, minus point, Frontier Flight 1769.
Volaris 1803, contact departure connect.
Departing for 919, 1803.
guess what? We can't give this a 20th century salute because this is one of the newest, or the newest MD-11s I've seen UPS have. This dates back to the year 2000. So it's 25 years old, but it doesn't get a jingle.
Frontier 1769, RNAV to alarm, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
RNAV to alarm, 18 left, clear for takeoff, Frontier Flight 1769.
So there's the Frontier flight with the whatever was on its tail. I don't know if we'll get a good look. Oh, it's the shark, that's right. That plane coming in was Flight 1213, American Airlines from Baltimore, Washington International Airport, is 737-800. But that's of little import now, because we have an aircraft with 3 mighty engines about to embark.
1213 at Golf 8, approximately 18 left, coming down 121.85, I'll be back. Golf 8 cross 18 left, and on 5 well,
Towers, I was 1495 and on visual runway 18
Larry Brown says the old Conan O'Brien bit in the year 2000 would be perfect. That was one of the best. It was so, you just kind of, how did they come up with that? The bit was in the year 2000, and Conan and his sidekick Andy Richter would don capes and hold flashlights that were pointed straight up at their face, and the lights were dimmed. and they would tell things about what was going to happen in the year 2000, even though those bits were done after the year 2000. So here we go, an almost brand new MD-11, 25 years old.
Yeah, 4895, you roll to Echo 7.
And once again, this aircraft is destined for Chicago Rockford International Airport. And you're watching it on Runway DFW, your home for Dallas-Fort Worth aviation activity, live. And within the next few minutes, we should be seeing the Qantas Dreamliner getting ready to disembark for Sydney. And we hope to bring that to you in just a bit. There's the METAR for you, courtesy of Woot Doctor. Thank you. The Texan Collector says this particular aircraft started life with Lufthansa cargo, sold to UPS in 2021. Look who's here! It's Texas Girl. Hello, Texas Girl. There she is. Thank you so much for your tremendous generosity tonight. Oh wait! Oh, wait a minute. Are you allowed to park there?
I'm not staying.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can. Texas Girl brought her coach.
UPS 753 heavy.
And wow. I don't know how much of it we can see. Let me watch. Can you wait till this plane takes off? Okay. Nah. You don't look suspicious. Yeah, so there's this very large luxury coach parked behind us. I'll turn the other camera around to see it once we get this plane off the ground. So I've never You know, I've been by that a lot of times. I've never gone in. What is that all about? They have pickleball. Oh, okay. I didn't get that. Oh, okay. But you can just go there and eat too, right? Okay, a place called Chicken and Pickle, and I drive by there when I'm picking up my grandson from to get him at his dad's on every other weekend, and I drive by that place all the time. I had no idea what I thought it was. It looked huge. It looked too big to be a restaurant.
Yeah. You play pickleball.
Well, you play pickleball, yeah. Okay.
UPS 753 heavy on F2B park. Runway 18 left for takeoff.
Okay, we got clear for takeoff here. So we'll see how much runway this plane needs before it lifts off the ground. Not much. So, off to Chicago, Rockford.
UPS 73 heavy, contact Mark overnight. Helicopter 2 Mike Echo.
Okay, so now what we're going to do,
north out of the airspace.
so we're going to turn around our camera 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Turn around our camera 2 so we can get a look at
121's not going to work, but
the big
coach.
coach.
Northeastbound turn.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the whole thing in there. Here we go. Look at that thing. It's glowing. Now you don't have any passengers in there, right? No. That is so cool.
Runway 18 left for takeoff.
Okay, well let's watch her go off. Don't bump into anything. Thank you, Texas Girl. There she goes. Off to drive that big coach. Let's see. I'm trying to get myself into a position I can follow along here. This is not a very, not a very wide drive here. I don't know. I couldn't. I know I would have been worried about taking that in here, but there she goes. Wave goodbye to Texas girl. Gives us a honk.
American 1092.
Off she goes.
Have a good night. No departure, American 1092. Good night.
I think we've run out of places to watch. Okay. Well, that was a fun surprise. So we've now, I think we've gone through our list of members. Thank you, members, for that. Put our clock back in. And now we await the Qantas flight,
northeast turn.
which hopefully we'll see soon. Just getting camera 2 back into position there.
I got 2 Mike Echo, the next one for 17 center on funnel there. That's your 11, 12 o'clock in 6 miles out of 3,300 descending. I got 2 Mike Echo, maintain your separation,
All right, we've got another UPS plane backing out now. 767 off to... Is this the one that they've been working on? Yeah, I guess it is. So this flight 793. It says here it's going to Louisville. So I guess whatever issue they had with whatever was in there has been satisfactorily resolved. And I guess I'm kind of surprised this is going to Louisville instead of to Houston. But maybe there's an issue that needs to be resolved that can only be taken care of at the World Port. So if you're just joining us, this plane was diverted on a flight from Louisville to Houston Intercontinental maybe 90 minutes ago, 2 hours ago. And now, according to flight radar, it's going back to Louisville. And as we watch that, we say a big, big thank you to Runway DFW channel sponsor James Webb for a $200 super chat. Thank you so much, James. And I look forward to your visit in the coming days. And there's the random spotter, Luke, celebrating the awesome support of James Webb. Local plane guy says, won't we have a salute plane, a DHL 767 delivered in the year 1992? I do see it on the radar. It's off to Cincinnati, And is it on the move? Oh yeah, I think it is. Quite often that plane, for some reason, that DHL plane lights up on the radar way before it actually is on the move. But we do have a ketchup and mustard DHL 767 cargo going to Cincinnati. And that's one of my favorite liveries, the ketchup and mustard. And we'll see that, hope to see that very shortly here on Runway DFW. So at some point behind this plane, we should see that DHL in the background. We'll zero in on that. That's a plane that often will go over to the east side for takeoff to Cincinnati. Should work out that as this plane goes out of our viewfinder, we should be able to see the other 767.
CBS 790, 3 heavy, DFW Tower at Whiskey Foxtrot, cross 218 right, hold short, 218 left.
Cross 18 right, short, 18 left on Whiskey Fox, UPS 793 heavy.
So we have two 767s in parallel, crossing over runway 18 right. And there's the 20th century salute for this very yellow and red plane.
Runway 18 left, head to Lewis, clear for takeoff. 18 left, near Lewis. Clear for takeoff, runway 18 left, head to RNAV, index 1. UPS 793 heavy, get the tower, Scotchway turbine. Heavy Boeing 767, parking in the intersection. Runway 18 left at Whiskey Fox, on way.
18 left, line underway.
So it looks like this, if I heard the dispatchers right, this plane's going to make a right turn and take off. And so we'll get a double 767 double play for you here. This one to Cincinnati, the UPS plane to Louisville. Here on Runway DFW. Not something we see every day.
UPS 793 Heavy, RNAV to B Park, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
RNAV B Park, 18 left, clear for takeoff, UPS 793 Heavy.
Envoy 3589, DFW Tower, Cox, wake terminal, heavy Boeing 767, runway 18 left, minus wait.
Wait left, I'm with 39, thanks.
AMX 102 Heavy, contact Spark 09. AMX 102 Heavy,
So now there's something at UPS that I've only seen once before. And that is seeing all of their gates here at DFW empty. No UPS planes are in the house right now. They're all gone.
Envoy 3589, RNAV to...
Want to get up, go ahead, say thank you for a great evening. Well, I'll take care. And that Texan collector with the inside information about that DHL plane started with Gulf Air in 1992, then Transaero in 2008, freighter converted in 2017 with Kalita, now owned by DHL, operated by ABX Air since 2019. Thank you for that history, that Texan collector. So let me take one final look at the radar here. All right, Qantas Flight 8 has now been backed out. It's going to Sydney. I'm trying to see if we can see it. I don't think we can see it yet. It's kind of parked behind, parked on the far side of Terminal D. We should get a look at it over there in just a minute.
Envoy 3589, contact Spark 09.
So we're kind of winding down here at Runway DFW for this Tuesday night broadcast. We've got American Flight 1768 to Phoenix, about to embark on its westward journey.
Envoy 4065, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, minus wait.
I don't know, wait, runway 18.
Just a reminder that following our regular broadcast, we'll stay on the air for Chatstravaganza. Yes, Chatstravaganza, where you, the Runway DFW viewer, can chat amongst yourselves as we pack up and you listen to music exclusively on Runway DFW.
American 3222 visual 18 right.
Okay, we're on lookout for ruse right now. And guess what? Oh no, it's still on the screen there. When we do eventually see Qantas Flight 8, it will be the 100th anniversary livery, which is kind of cool to see in the daytime. It's not that well. There's not a lot to see at night because we don't get a very good view of it. But the livery features the insignias, the logos of Qantas Airways or Airlines since it started 100 years ago. I guess more than 100 years ago now. J.R. Melton says, good job as always, Walt. Good night, all. Thank you, J.R. Melton, for sticking around with us. Hannah the dispatcher, who is a Quadjet channel member and one of our great lights, says, sorry, Walt, I just remembered to hit the like button. Please don't worry about that, Hannah. Okay, Qantas is on the move. We should be seeing it shortly. There it is. I see the flashing red lights there coming from the left side of your screen. You can kind of see the 100th anniversary livery there pretty clearly. At least you can see the 100. You can't. It's going to be a little harder to make out the celebratory insignia there on the fuselage to the aft of the wings. It's a 5-year-old Dreamliner Dash 9.
Regan 1999 DFW Tower, runway 18 left, on a void.
Channel member Nick with a thank you. Thank you to you for watching and for being a channel member. Well, it looks like we don't get any 747s tonight. We usually get at least one cargo 747, but looks like tonight is not our night.
Regan 1999, RNAV to Lawrence, runway 18 left, take off.
RNAV Clarence, clear for takeoff, 18 left, American 1999.
Regan 2378, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, on the way. That's on the way, Regan 2378.
Ten Lightstar 01 says, what an odd thought. We've had airplanes for over 100 years. And Wood Doctor says, is the 100 livery on many planes or only one? I think only one. I may be mistaken about that, but I think it's only one plane, although, you know, we only see the Qantas Dreamliners here currently, so, you know, I guess it could be on others. I've been told that when Qantas used to run its 747s in here to Dallas, Fort Worth, they had a 747 that with the roo on the tail had a cowboy hat on it. That must have been pretty cool. Maybe they'll paint a cowboy hat on the A380 when they bring that here later this summer. We've got a 737 MAX 8 coming in from American Airlines. It's flight 9811 from Kingston, Jamaica, don't you know, man? Be here in just a second or two.
American 785, RNAV alarm, runway 18 left, to pick up.
Texas girl says, have a good night. Guys, Walt, travel going home. Good to see you for a minute. Oh, so nice to see you. That was a big surprise to see Texas girl and her coach. Starting to get a little chilly. What's the temperature here? 61 Fahrenheit. Wind out of the south-southeast at 8 miles an hour. All right, here comes the MAX 8. Through the shrubbery. From Jamaica. 3 hours and 50 minutes in the air from the Caribbean.
13588, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, line of way, cross, 18 left, line of way, copy, envoy 3588. American 785, contact Spartan, good night. Very close to you. American 3222 at Whiskey Kilo, crossway 18 left, ground 121.85. Have a good night.
American 3222, Whiskey Kilo, clear cross 18 left, 85 on the other side. Have a good night, sir.
American 9811 at Whiskey Kilo, crossway 18 left, ground 121.85. Have a good night.
At Whiskey Kilo, cross runway 18 left, ground 1.85 on the other side. American 9811, good night.
Envoy 3344, contact departure, good night.
Departure, good night, Envoy 3344.
Envoy 3588, RNAV to large, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
RNAV line 18 left, clear for takeoff, Envoy 3588.
Frontier flight 3885, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, line of way. 18 left, line of way, Frontier flight 3885. Flight 3885, RNAV to depart, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
18 left, clear takeoff from RNAV, park, Frontier flight 3885.
Qantas 8 Heavy, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, line of way.
Line up, Mike, 18 left, Qantas 8.
Envoy 3588, contact departure, good night.
Frontier flight with Hugh the Manatee on the tail. And this once again is Qantas Flight 8 to Sydney. A journey that takes on average about 10 and a half hours. No, I'm sorry, 16 and a half hours. 10 and a half didn't sound right. 16 and a half hours. 8,578 miles.
Frontier 3885, contact departure, have a good night. All departure, you have a wonderful night, Frontier 3885. Qantas 8 Heavy on departure, turn right, heading 190, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
Right, heading 190, 18 left, clear for takeoff, Qantas 8 Heavy. Qantas 8 Heavy, contact departure, good night. Qantas 8 Heavy, good night. Breaker 446, DFW Tower, runway 18 left, line up point, Causeway Curve, previous departure was a heavy streamliner.
Safe travels to Sydney. And that's going to about do it for us tonight. Now don't forget we've got Chat Stravaganza coming up, so if you are still looking for stuff to watch, you can watch me pack up. What can I say? But as far as the aviation component of our broadcast goes, I think that's going to be about it. Let me turn around to the camera and thank you. Thank you for watching again. We will see you next time on Runway DFW. I don't know if we'll be back later this week. I haven't even looked at the forecast yet. But typically we try to come on again on Thursday. So keep your notification bells alerted. And we'll see you soon. Happy contrails to you until we meet again. Thank you to, once again, to James Webb, our channel sponsor. Thank you to all of our contributors tonight, and I would like especially also to thank Doug Jackson who also gave us a big contribution tonight, and also to Texas Girl, who gave us 10 or 11 memberships, and somebody else who gave, Doug Jackson also gave us 20 Runway DFW memberships. So many very generous contributions tonight. Thank you so much. And thanks to our mods, our great moderators. Thank you so much. I am deeply appreciative of all you do to make sure that this is a really nice place for people to hang out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon on Runway DFW. We'll say good night. Happy contrails to you until we meet once again. Where's our music? There it is.
American 446, contact departure, good night. American 446, contact.
shoutouts and promotional consideration furnished by Pan American World Airways, the world's most experienced airline. Pan Am makes the going great. This is Dick Tufeld speaking.
Okay, we've got a 747 alert. 747. I haven't turned off our cameras yet, so we can't miss this. This is Singapore Airlines cargo. 747-400 coming in from Anchorage. A 19-year-old plane. I would have kicked myself had I seen this gliding in while I was packing up. So good things come to those who wait. It's about 20 seconds away here, I think.
American 1679, DFW Tower, RNAV 2 Large, runway 18 left, clear to take off.
Yes, a bonus plane. I was kind of bummed that we didn't have a 747 tonight, and well, here it is.
American 2958, contact departure, good night. 2958, good night.
We now return you to Chatstravaganza, already in progress.
57 DFW Tower, contact service, previous departure, heavy Boeing 777, runway 18 left, line 1.
18 left, line up 1 American, 357.
78 heavy contact, departure, good night.
American 78 heavy, push disconnect.
Well, that about does it for another edition of Chatstravaganza here on Runway DFW. Thanks again for watching, and we will close out tonight's broadcast with a little salute to our beloved late Kitty, who left us on Saturday. And we're talking about Mises. So we'll say goodnight to you with a big good night to Mises. And we'll see you soon here on Runway DFW.